looks like you're getting some players back at Kunabanu, Cartel Flowers, Boyd. Just your thoughts on getting healthier as the season's kind of progressed.
I'm for it. Yeah, we're just trying to figure out the best group, and it's fluid right now because, as you said, of the injuries. We're also fluid because we've got some young guys that we're trying to fit in the spots and make sure that they're the right guys for the spots. They're doing a good job. There's a learning curve for sure. I think we've shown that, but we're all very positive. We believe we're turning the corner, and we're just going to keep pounding the rock until we do.
What worries you about Drew Brown?
About who?
Drew Brown?
He's accurate. I know a little bit about him just from talking to Zach about him, and I know he thinks really highly of him. He's accurate. He's a gym rat. I don't know a ton about him as a personality, but I know he's a fiery leader. I know Tommy will do a good job of putting him in position. They've got receivers that can make plays. I think it's like any quarterback. Let's put some pressure on him. Let's not let him get a hot start where he's feeling good about the game, and see where it goes from there.
Scott, how much? I mean, you guys are really in terms of experience, the second and third levels of defense, you're pretty young.
Mm-hmm.
How much of the struggle you guys had on defense is just guys that are new to this league and new to figuring it out?
I think some of it is that for sure. Like I said, there's a learning curve. Guys that come up from the States where everybody's static, and now all of a sudden everybody can motion on every single play, and the strength changes, and sometimes that changes the call and the coverage. So for sure, there's a learning curve there. We need to get there quicker. Let's put it that way. And they're focused. Probably going to move guys around a little bit this week, and it's looked better in practice.
What do you think is at the root of the challenges you've had running the ball the last couple of weeks?
Well, I think you have to give them credit. They have a very good front, and then Corey has always kind of done a good job of putting extra guys in the box. There's a lot of pressure on first down, and it's more of a throw type of defense. You take what they're going to give you. The first week we got a lot of soft coverage and ran the ball well. In the last 2 weeks we haven't gotten that, and we've had to throw it. And when you have to throw it, obviously we can't turn it over. That's the key, and that's the biggest part of this whole thing is we're 0 for 3 in the turnover ratio,
right.
And there isn't anything else that really matters.
Right. Can you coach turnovers?
Yes, 100%. We coach it every practice. We coach it. Yes, we coach it every individual period.
Is that a point of emphasis? I mean, just given the way the season is started right now, can you?
Not anymore. It's always the number one point of emphasis. Yeah. It always starts with turnovers. That's meeting one.
What's obviously Tim has not got the start that he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I know he had a really strong camp. But what are you emphasizing for him to try to get out of this?
Oh, there's a number of things. I've talked to him when I got here last year. He was far and away our best receiver. He led the room, took control. Things are a little different now. Not that he's not our best receiver, he is, but we also have some other guys that he's not going to be targeted every play. And so I think there's a level of patience that has to come with that. And when his number's called and the coverage works out, I mean, his number's still getting called. It's just sometimes the coverages don't work out where the ball's going to go down.
Right.
There's got to be a level of patience. It won't be like it was last year where he was, by the end of the year, teams were doubling him and rolling the coverage to him, and you just can't play football consistently that way. So it's a good problem to have for a player that wants the ball and wants to get off to a better start. It can be frustrating. So he's doing a good job. He's doing a good job of handling it and continue. He had a great week of practice, worked his ass off, and I think he'll be rewarded for that.
You guys are targeting him a lot in practice today.
Yeah, we always do. Yeah, we always do.
When do you consider moving him around offensively?
We do move him around. Yeah. He's primarily the slot to the boundary, but he moves around all the time.
You sent me a comment the other day I saw about the kind of integration of all three phases.
Mm-hmm.
That you believe that one kind of affects the other, makes the other one's not going up. Can you just elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think when you're a veteran team and you're really good, like look at when I was in Montreal with Coach Trustman, right? We were good on 3 phases. If one team was down, it was a veteran team, the other guys would pick it up. You'd win the game 6-0 or whatever the case may be. We're still trying to find our way a little bit on all 3 phases. And so, if we have a bad return or if we turn it over and put the defense in a bad situation, as of right now, we haven't been able to overcome that. The day's going to come where nobody's going to flinch, and we're just going to go back out there and win the rest of the game. But we're still working on that.
Are you waiting for those moments almost to happen?
I'm not sure if I understand the
In
question.
terms of, a big play, a turnover, a return that doesn't go according to plan.
Am I?
Well, do you get the sense from the team
I-
standpoint that, okay, this now,
I don't know. I hope everybody's concerned about what they're doing. I mean, that would be a good question to ask one of the players, but I can't speak to what their mindset is. I am not. I expect this team to continue to get better. We have good enough talent that when we figure it out, I think everybody will see that. But right now we just have been twice we've gotten off the slow starts, and the second that we just didn't finish the game the way we needed to. But it's hard for the outside people to see what I'm seeing. There's plenty of hope. Let's put it that way.
Just on pause, but you played a couple young tackles.
Mhm.
They've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, they're good players. I mean, the more rookies you start, the harder it is. There's an adjustment period for everybody. Offensive line, it's the yard off the ball, but they're doing a good job. Those guys are good players. They're going to be good players in this league for a long time. Again, just another group that needs to continue to improve.
Is there different? I mean, you coached this league,
Mhm.
Various places and other places you did. Is there more of a teaching emphasis just because of some of the youth on this team and some of the experience?
Yeah, I don't know if this is what you're asking. There's a little extra level of patience that I've discussed with them that is waning, right? It's getting to be the point in time where being young, having a new staff, all those things, you can't lean on that anymore. So, yes, there's been a level of that to some degree, but, it's time to go. It's time to get out there and man up and play ball and do your job, really. I hate to, steal from Coach Belichick, but there's a reason he says do your job, and that's what we need to do at this point.